It's just after Thanksgiving, and I love this time of year. It's a time to change focus from the usual stuff like school and work to other things like family and all the holiday festivities. It's definitely a welcome break from the same old grind. It's also a great opportunity to charge our batteries. Or, like Stephen Covey says in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, it's time to sharpen the saw. I'm Jason M. Garrett, a retired Navy commander and pilot, now an investor and an entrepreneur. I'm also a dad who in 2021 sent his oldest daughter more than 1,000 miles away to college. Since then, I've been writing her Dadograms. It's a way for me to teach our family's values and beliefs through stories. Through my Dadograms, you'll learn how to work and win in life, just like we do. Now, I'm a big fan of Stephen Covey and his book, The 7 Habits, and one of those habits the highly successful use in their lives is, on occasion, to sharpen the saw. If you want to be razor sharp at those many things you are working on to achieve, you need an occasional break. To sharpen the saw, to rejuvenate, to re-energize, and as it turns out, even I need this. Truthfully, I'm not very good at sharpening the saw on a weekly or a monthly basis. I'm not the kind of guy who takes time off work. My least favorite days of the week are Saturday and Sunday because the usual productive routine is broken. My favorite day of the week is Monday, when we all get to go back to work. I don't really do vacations. Hell, to be honest with you, I don't even know what a vacation is. But aside from that, during this time of year, I don't have a choice but to actually slow down. Society imposes a rest period on me, for the most part. My studying slows down, where all the investing and business podcasts I listen to in the car get boring, where they repeat stuff I've heard before because they, after all, are on break and are replaying their old flashback episodes. And I'm tired of the difficult books I have been reading for my own research. The stock market is slow and uninteresting for some reason, probably because of all the breaks in trading. My real estate endeavors slow to a crawl or stop altogether because most of the people I work with are taking a break, and I don't want to be in the middle of a project when everyone is off work. Even though technically at this exact moment I'm in the middle of 3 of them right now, but that's a different story. When I had an office job in the Navy, there wasn't much going on either. If we weren't deployed, most people were on leave, and with so much of the team missing, it was frustrating to try and get something done because usually you couldn't. And I figured that's how it is in most workplaces this time of year, unless, of course, you work in retail. And, of course, the biggest and greatest change of all during this particular time of year is the kids. They're home from school now, or will be soon, and in truth, I really like hanging out with my kids. And working up here in my office, in the house, isn't hanging out with them. So I push away from the computer and we do stuff together. Fun stuff. Family stuff. And that rejuvenates. All of it does. And it really is great that at this time of year, I have to slow down, and by doing so, I sharpen the saw, whether I wanted to or not. The only thing I need to be able to do is fill in the additional downtime with something that I can do that's easily interrupted by family events, but that still somehow allows me to re-energize. Some things work, some things don't. TV could be an option, it certainly is for most people, but I'm not one that can sit around and watch much TV. I certainly can't watch Hallmark specials like everyone else seems to do, and the movies I'd like to watch, Christmas movies like Die Hard, for instance, well, they aren't appropriate for some yet, or interesting for the rest. So I do need something else to do. Over the years, I've got a list of books I read on an annual basis, usually during this time of year when I have any free time. They aren't educational or self-help books. I'm intentionally not studying, because after a year of constant work and study and thinking and planning and doing, I truly am worn a bit thin. Instead, I read something familiar to me that takes me away from this world to another, whether that's science fiction, fantasy, history, or just fiction. I find I read quite a bit during any free time that I have during this particular time of year, or I'm listening to them in audiobooks when I'm driving alone. Between that and all the fun I have with my family and having not thought much about my usual work for a few weeks, by the time I wrap up Christmas, I'm rejuvenated. In fact, I'm chomping at the bit to get started with the next important project I have. A project I focus on during the gap between Christmas and New Year's every single year. A project that will keep me charging hard all year long with focus and determination. a project that each and every one of you also would get a lot out of if you were to take it on. Now, if you're curious about it, I'll be sharing it with you on my Dadogram just after Christmas. So you'll have to wait until then. But I can assure you, the wait will be worth it. But for now, right after Thanksgiving, know that it's not just okay to enjoy this relaxing time of year, but really, really good for you if you truly do embrace the downtime to recharge and rejuvenate. And be intentional about doing something different if you can. Take your mind off the usual grind. Enjoy time with family and friends and the anticipation of the holidays. Do what you have to do to sharpen the saw so you will be ready to cut through the hard work to come in the following year. Because if you're like me, we work hard, but we truly do work better with some occasional downtime. It reminds me of another quote along the same topic, this one by Abraham Lincoln, when he said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." He sure got it, didn't he? So until next time, take a break, but keep watching these Dadograms. There's learning going on here. Subscribe to this channel and give a thumbs up. And until then, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.